Hello, 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 everybody. My name is Sharan Goodspeed Keaton. I am the director of COT Productions and Civic Impact for Fort Worth Opera. And beside me is Kaswanna Kanyinda.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yes. So Kaswanna is our Fort Worth Opera Hattie Mae Leslie resident artist mezzo. And we are thrilled that you're here today. Today we are talking about Women's History Month. And very excited that I don't even know what year that became a thing, but I'm excited that it did because the reality is, in real life, none of us would be here had it not been for a woman. So let's celebrate them. I want to jump right in and ask you, think quickly of all the amazing women who have touched your life and contributed to you being the beautiful human that you are. Give me the top three and tell me why.
Okay, so that would be my grandmother, Georgia Baker, my mother, Robin Dickerson, and my voice teacher, Dr. Louise Toppin.
Okay.
So my grandmother is just like one of the most morally upstanding people that I've ever met. She's the type of person she'll tell you the truth even if it hurts. But I just loved how she lived her life. Everybody loved her. She was always steadfast in what she believed in. My mother, because she's always been my biggest cheerleader. She's always encouraged me, and even throughout my growing pain, she's always been there to be like, okay, we got to dust you back off, or we got to get you back out there.
Come on, Mama.
And then my teacher, Dr. Louise Toppin, who really stuck with me vocally. She's been my mother and my mentor. Being an opera singer, she's helped me work through emotionally like the upsets of being a singer, but also like helping me understand that those are just moments. Those are moments that everybody has, and help me work through those. And then just also helping me learn this, which is a whole nother relationship in itself.
Yeah.
And she's just been with me from day one. About making sure that I feel comfortable with my instrument and that I can do anything that I want with it. Yeah.
Was she also formerly a professional singer?
Yeah, she is actually still a professional singer, still working.
Okay.
She specializes in a lot of works by African American composers, and she actually has like a database and a whole website dedicated to it. And she. So she's currently in the industry, currently supporting a lot of other singers as well. But
Nice.
I always refer back to her for being an inspiration to doing this and being in this field.
Yeah, wow. I think that it's really interesting and cool that your grandmother and your mother were two of the first people that you mentioned, because oftentimes when we think about who, as a society, when we think about who our heroes are, sometimes we think about intangible people who we can't touch. Like, for me in music, I'm like, Gladys Knight all day, every day, right? Or we think about women who, seeing them had a great impact on us. But we often forget to think back to our formidable years when our mother or our grandmother was that grounding for us. So do you think you have traits of your grandmother?
Oh, yes. So one of the things, and my grandmother picked up on it too, when I was smaller, I had this really big fear of people telling me no, and so it wasn't that I didn't mind people saying no. I just couldn't handle you saying no to my face. So what I would do,
and she became a professional singer.
I know. So, but what I did was I would write little notes, like those notes in school where you'd be like, oh, will you be my boyfriend? Check yes or no. Well, I would write the notes and I would be like, hey, can I get some ice cream? Yes or no? And then slip it under the door and then go back and be watching, Dragon Tales and Arthur and wait for the note to come back. Yes. And then my grandma would come around and she'll be like, yes, you can have some ice cream. And I would go, and I would do it with my mom too. And then my mom was more like, okay, you can talk and just say you want ice cream. It's okay. And then, that's how, she kind of got me out of that. But that was definitely one of my traits that I got from my grandmother, was definitely, writing the notes. I don't do that as much anymore, but yeah.
Dear Sharan,
Just like,
can I have a day off?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yes or no? Yes. Check yes.
Check yes or no.
No, yes.
I love it. I love it. So if you had to guess on a percentage of the totality of your life, what percentage would you say of women versus what percentage of men had the greatest impact on your life?
I would say 85% women, 15% men. Just because like my mom was a single parent and she had a lot of a lot of friends who were either single themselves or single parents themselves or just single women. And so I was always surrounded by strong women who were out doing it, for themselves and for their kids, or just trying to establish a lifestyle that they wanted. And then one of the male figure that I had in my life was my brother, so who I look up to, and he getting information and advice from him, despite all like the fights of sibling rivalry. But yeah, I would definitely say majority of women influenced me. And then it was my brother. Oh, and then my professor in my master's, George Shirley. So he was the first male teacher that I ever had. But I mean, he was also like the first African American tenor to ever perform on the Met. Yeah. So it was hard to be his student because I had to get over like the starstruckness. But once I got through it, like he was just able to help me cultivate who I wanted to be as an artist, and the experiences that I wanted to have on stage. And I'm so immensely grateful to have him be a part of my journey.
Yeah, wow. Your answer, Kaswanna, is very similar to that of your colleagues, which really just kind of brings me back to the overall importance of women and their imprint on not only our history, but our present, and through you all, our future. And so I'm really grateful that whomever decided to create Women's History Month did that, because just like with anything else, sure, we should celebrate them throughout the year. But I think having that designated time to say thank you and I love you and you did a wonderful work in me, it's a great thing to be able to do. So let me ask you this, and then I'm going to wrap this up. As a female, do you feel as if over time there has been or become greater opportunities in the opera industry as a whole for you?
I feel there are greater opportunities, but there's not a great variety of opportunity. And by that I mean, again, like there's a lot of typecasting. But with the cultivation of new composers and new stories that are being told, I enjoy that that there are stories that are telling different facets of women, because we are complex creatures, and we have different sides to us. We're not just some sexy seductress, and we're not just some naive woman in a story, and I feel like having those stories, that tell those different sides, it just helps society understand that we're not just a build a bear type structure type thing. We are a living human being that experiences emotions, that have different like tools and things at our disposal, and it just humanizes us rather than trying to portray a caricature of us.
I like that a lot. I just want to thank you so much for being here with me again today. And happy Women's History Month to you.
Thank you.
May you continue to make history for the rest of your life. May you be listed amongst all of the great opera singers in the books.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, it is March, it is Women's History Month, and we are here for celebrating all women, from the ones who are in the history book because they flew the first airplane or created something that now in our present day life we can't live without, all the way down to somebody's auntie. Because without them and their positive impact on our lives, we wouldn't be here today. And in another 10, 20 years, this is going to be history. So happy Women's History Month. Have a good month. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.